Howdy, howdy, y'all. This is chapter 33. Everything happens by itself. Um, and I think this is what this is getting at. It's this idea of like everything, since the whole mind body thing is an illusion, since we are beyond even consciousness itself, we're, you know, beyond time and space, this also means we are beyond cause and effect, which means, if everything really just, it's, I, the title is kind of weird, but I do like the concept. I like the overall what Maharaj argues. Like for example, this is the stand the mind body takes. Pure mind sees things as they are, bubbles in consciousness. These bubbles are appearing, disappearing, and reappearing without having being real. No particular cause can be ascribed to them, for each is caused by all and affects all. Each bubble is a body, and all these bodies are mine. Questioner, do you mean to say that you say that you have the power to do everything rightly? Maharaj, there is no power as separate from me. It is inherent in my very nature. Call it creativity. Out of a lump of gold, you can make many ornaments. Each will remain gold. Similarly, in whatever role I may appear and whatever function I may perform, I remain. What I am, the I am, immovable, unshakable, independent. What you call the universe, nature, is my spontaneous creativity. Whatever happens, happens. By such is my nature that all ends in joy. And then this guy talks about the questioner, then talks about like a blind boy, and is trying to. I feel like it's one of those like trying to like. It's always like a lot of these people try to do the gotchas, but like here's this very tragic thing. Now does your spirituality deal with that? And he just brings it all. I think he deals with it pretty well. He kind of just he even says, you're asking as part of the boy's blindness. Because he is blind, you ask. You have added nothing. Like at one point he says that. And the question is like, will your help will be a new factor? Maharaj, no. All is contained in the boy's blindness. All is in it. The mother, the boy, you and me, and all else. It is one event. Because it's all one. I mean, that is the way of thinking it. Because he, he's throughout this, he's always talking about the moment. Like even especially at the beginning of this conversation, that's kind of how he led with it. It's like that everything begins in the moment. Everything, well, that there is no beginning. It's just the moment, really, and, that there is no time. There is no like future and past. All this, it's just the moment, which is a very, I think very common, especially Hindu, and not even just Hindu, just that sort of persuasion of spirituality. Um, Lots of talk of the nani. He mentions the nani quite often. Um, the questioner at one point, yeah, he says, "Does it follow that if you are saved, the world is saved?" Maharaj, as a whole, the world does not need saving. A man makes mistakes and creates sorrow. When it enters the field of awareness, the consciousness of a nani, it is set right. Such is his nature. Um, and the questioner has a very interesting, I think, a very interesting question. We can observe what we may call spiritual progress. A selfish man turns religious, controls himself, refines his thoughts and feelings, takes to spiritual practice, realizes his true being. Is such progress ruled by causality, or is it accidental? And this is, I find, I actually like this answer from Maharaj. From my point of view, everything happens by itself, quite spontaneously. But man imagines that he works for an incentive towards a goal. Reward. He always, he always has a reward in mind and strives for it. Cause that's kind of calling like me out. Like that's the way I've thought. So I mean, that's why I appreciate it. Cause I'm like, that's me. Like that's totally how I am. The questioner does respond with this: a crude, unevolved man will not work without a reward. Is it not right to offer him incentives? So it's like it's very opposite, right? He's the Maharaj. He will create himself. He will create for himself incentives anyhow. He does not know what to grow is in the nature of consciousness. He will progress from motive to motive and will chase gurus for the fulfillment of his desires. When by the laws of his being he finds the way to return, the NIVRITTI, Nirviti, I forgot, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. He abandons all motives for his interest in the world is over. He wants nothing, neither from others nor from himself. He dies to all and becomes the all. To want nothing and do nothing. That is true creation. To watch the universe emerging and subsiding in one's heart is a wonder. And and I thought that was just like a very like beautiful way of like responding to all that. Like this is a very just beautiful, just yeah, like it is what's kind of like the this does, right? You have to go beyond desire and just be just happy with the flow of the universe. That is this. That seems like the kind of the whole point of it. It's like right, like once you can just like flow with the universe itself, it just yeah. And then the questioner does say a very weird point. I think the great obstacle to inner effort is boredom. The disciple gets bored. I don't know. For me personally, and like Maharaj like has a good response to it and all, but for me personally, I don't know. That's a weird question. That's a weird way to respond to all that because I don't know. For me, I don't think boredom has ever been an issue. I think for me, especially, I mean, when I was like maybe younger as a child, but I don't know. I just there's too much to do in this world to be bored. Maybe that's just because of the time we're living in. Maybe we're just lucky in that way. But I just feel like there's no way of getting bored nowadays. If you really there's no reason to be bored. If you're bored, that's on you. That's on you. At least that's my humble opinion. But anyways, yeah, he I want to just kind of end this video on the last part that Maharaj the last like paragraph of this that Maharaj says. The question it's in response to the questioners when he asks, "Is there no need for of effort then?" Maharaj, when effort is needed, effort will appear. When effortlessness becomes essential, it will assert itself. You need not push life about, just flow with it, and give yourself completely to the task of the present moment, which is the dying now to the now. For living is dying. Without death, life cannot be. Get hold of the main thing that the world and the self are one and perfect. Only your attitude is faulty and needs readjustment. This process or readjustment is what you call sadhana. You come to it by putting an end to indulgence and using all your energy to clear the way for clarity and charity. But in reality, these all are signs of inevitable growth. Don't be afraid. Don't resist. Don't delay. Be what you are. There is nothing to be afraid of. Trust and try. Experiment honestly. Give your real being a chance to shape your life. You will not regret it. I feel like I kind of got a little car salesy. I don't know, maybe just because of translation. Though I'm sure, like in the conversation in the moment, yeah, it's gonna be tones and all that. It's just kind of funny, like part of this. But anyways, I did like that. Um, but it feels very true. I mean, Like, this is all like effort is. I mean, it's just all about experience. I feel at the end of the day, and like putting words to the experience. I mean, that's just I. It's. I mean, it's just a thing we do as humans, and we. That's just our. It's within our nature, and so. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that the ultimate nature is beyond even experience itself, and so like he says, experiment honestly. Give your real being a chance to shape your life. You'll not regret it. And I've definitely, for me personally, I've been trying to go down that route for a minute. Um, I would say for a good chunk of my life, yeah, on and off. And especially recently, I've been really trying to pursue it, and I haven't been regretting it. So I hope you don't as well, and I hope you all are safe in your own personal spiritual journeys as well. I hope this is all it helps you. Have a good day. Peace.